Okay, we look at this review of the assignment for Btec PDML course, guess what, 2018-2019. We're looking at Unit 16, which is Successful Business Team Development. Here we're looking at leadership, we're looking at motivation, we're looking at encouraging and supporting your team. We're also looking regarding because of what actually makes a successful team. Because so in turn on dealing that, guess what's it? We turn on because it is. Look at the learning outcomes that they have. Now, in this section, there is 2 learning outcomes that you have to deal with regarding because what's this. Okay, so it's not as heavy as other subjects now. The first one being regarding because you understand the characteristic of what makes a successful team. So we're looking at what makes it work, what's the dynamics and all. So we're going to look at the characteristics of effective successful team. What is it in a team that makes it good? Regardless, that leadership, is the mix of skills, is it motivation, is it encouragement, is it support? Because that way we're analysing the value theoretical models with building an effective team. We're going to look at the science behind teams. We look at the hierarchy of needs, from Maslow. We're going to look at Hertzberg. We're going to look at various other people. They've actually studied teams and seen what's work. We evaluate the effectiveness of having defined teams' roles and successful team building. So we look at that it is spelt out within an organisation what exactly is someone's roles, what is their duty, what is their responsibility. Okay, and they're going to be turned out so we have like 3 tasks in here. We'll be seeing the task shortly. The second area that look at regarding is understanding how to develop successful teams. So we're now just looked at what is a team, what makes it successful, what works now, what the theory in all these areas. Now we're going to look at that because so we're going to look at the value methods used for team development and support team members to achieve given objectives. So how would you encourage it? How would you support it? How would you achieve group? Assess techniques used to motivate individuals and teams to achieve group objective. It's key to remember that teams are actually made of individuals and that you need to mesh them together. They need to fit together to actually turn and do it. Okay? For example, how performance feedback can be used to develop teams. So the members, the team themselves, so they're actually informed what's working, what's not working, what's done, what's good, what's bad, how's the achievement done. Okay, and discuss how to determine criteria to monitor the effectiveness of the team. So we look at performance feedback, we look at SMART targets, they need to be specific, measurable, achievable, and timely, okay, as well as relevant, realistic, and that's how to develop team performance against agreed criteria. Once you set your standards, know how it's done. Okay. So you turn on tackling that way. So let's actually look at what's in there. Okay, as an old Btec one, you're setting aside because we'll go to it. We're going to identify what's the key factors they need to be considered. What's mentioned in teams development into and in remember all teams is made up of interpersonal relationship. We'll examine the impact of culture. The impact of delivery success and effective teams contribute that way. So the scenario, as I said, is as usual. You're a consultant for an organisation. You have to examine the source of benefit teams can bring, which makes an effective team. You ask the system reviewing some issues and give your views on the same, and then the concerns may rise. So very, very opinion driven. We want you to talk about what you actually think. We want you to just say, give yours. This is what I think. This is what I view. This is what I believe. Okay, so we're going to take the course covered module and define the difference between a group and a team. Okay, a group being any collection is there because people brought together, whereas a team has a definition, as a purpose, as a drive, because there's something that's actually expected into there, and they can be formed in that way. So we look at a functional team, like a group like an accounts department, a marketing department. They're organised around a function or an area of duty is done. A project as a group could be people of different areas of finance, management, human resources, sales, marketing, IT, brought together because that was Okay, a matrix team could be across all areas in an organisation, so it's like a spider's web across the org that way. A contract team like project management, or the self-management team, where you're actually looking at the team is self-directed, whereas that. Okay. Now, the task that you have to do here is using your research and using the material that we covered together. Guess what's it? Okay, select guess what for your choice, either a separate organization, business or industry, and guess we're looking at the team, guess what the theory that is covered, guess what's it is particularly the Pearson's presentation, guess what's it, which you would think that would be effective or considered that. And you actually ask to write an essay in that way. I want you to look at key areas, guess that, because it's so participative leadership as well, because where the leader is actually a part of the team, and actually gets in, rolls up the hands and sits down. The whole concept of loyalty, trust, open communications, shared goals and objectives, shared responsibility, shared vision, okay, and that's the big difference between groups and teams. Teams have this area, have this open communication, have this participation inside, have this loyalty, because of this trust, this whole lot regardless issue, because it's turning the stone, and what's actually involved. And it's very important that this is actually all exists, and because it's there. Okay. And that's what you mean regarding, because there must be a common purpose, there must be cooperation, and there must be motivation. Okay, must be encouraged and drive. Okay, so that's because you're looking at and your whole lot regardless of deal with. So your first one, an essay, where you're looking at groups and you're finding what's based on this of the presentation, based on the materials there, but what's actually in there that would actually make a case of what organizations out there, so taking like Google, Facebook, a college team regarding a sports group regarding management team, management buyout regarding any organization, what would actually be involved in done. Okay, so that's the first stack. Okay, now in the second one, examine the material covered in the course in your own research. Write an essay considering each theory or structure to an industry or business you feel best suited because of use of this model. Give reasons for your choice. Okay, is that because it does? Alright, okay. So you turn you actually look in what's in there is involved. Okay, and it's what's in there because it'll happen out because it's done. Okay. Your third task is actually looking at the Belbin test, which you find is an appendix. So if you scroll to the very bottom of your document, okay, you will see this Belbin test, and it's a list of questions you actually look out and each question you actually turn to it. So complete these section number 3, tick in the far left column the 1, 2 or 3 sentences most approach with you. Then in the column on the right, a portion of 10 points between the sentences which apply to you. One of which you feel sums you up well, while the other ones apply some of the time. In this instance, you should give your first choice 7 points and the third point second choice, and some instances you may decide there are 2 sentences apply to you equally. In this case, we're 5 points each. So in the first column on the left, okay, tick which one of the points is, and then the far column here, allocate your points now which you've done. Okay, now in the end, regarding you allocate your scores on that done. Okay, and you straight off seeing the situation. Once you've allocated your scores, points total each column, the highest 2 columns represent your primary and secondary goal, and actually look regarding across that way which one of these ones are your folds. Now based on that, so the questionnaire is not what's important, the questionnaire is the starting point. Based on that questionnaire, we want you to actually go through it and see regarding what you actually think. Do you agree the role is put? Give examples. You feel that yes, this is appropriate or inappropriate your opinion is what's important here. The second part of this one is reading the Forbes article which is attachment 2 in Teams, and consider 5 projects. You agree that all teams work well. Okay, so you have an article down towards the end of the document after your Belbin test. Okay, and it's from Forbes magazine. Always relying on the team, not individuals. And you actually look at this reading regarding and actually agree. Do you agree that teams work all the time? Do you agree that okay, so it's a short enough article, go through it, but asking yourself the question and draw on your own research, draw on other material that's actually needed because it's done. Okay, so that's regarding guess what's your assignments, as I said, guess what's it for part 1. Okay, that's that. Now, module 2 regarding guess what's it is there, guess it's done. Okay, at the very end, you have guess a case study on British Airways, which, as I said, you will find down at the end. Okay. And in the guess what it looks about the changes, guess what that they brought in their organisation, how we actually tackled it, guess the structure and all as well. And what I want you to do, guess here, guess what it is, guess what that, and guess what it look at, guess what it Dan Pink, guess what it for our video, which guess it can be found, guess what it, guess what the tackling, guess just click on. Okay, and you see you got because of the Dan Pink card, because what's this one, it actually comes up. So try it and just watch any, skip your ads, and you have this one regardless with that. It's from RSA Animation, and it looks guess what's it at regardless of the whole area, guess what's it of guess about motivation as well. So well worth the view, well worth reading that because we're to and actually discussing what actually happens in motivation. Okay, now from this right, you're going to configure the answer that way. You're going to evaluate methods used for team development to support team members to achieve given the objective. Using the British Airways example, how would you turn that? Assess the techniques used to motivate individuals and teams to change control. Examine how performance feedback can be used to develop teams. Discuss how to determine criteria to monitor the effectiveness of the team. Assess how to develop team performance against agreed criteria. So in your essay, you're looking at identifying and evaluating the methods used by British Airways to support the achievement of the objectives themselves. So how did they do it? How did they actually monitor the team? How did they actually tackle it? Because they deal with it, because it's going through it, and because it's straight off because it's done. Secondly, okay, because it's done that, because it's done, we because it turned to because we looked at assessing and making specific recommendations on how you could motivate your staff, both individually and teams. So give your viewpoint. Is it bonuses? Is it because what's it feedback? Is it because how do you actually done? Again, building on the course material and giving us this done. Okay. Identify the SMART targets. So you actually done specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, relevant, timely, because the targets and other performance feedback used to develop teams in BA. So try and see if you actually find how they actually monitor it and control it. And use a case study, your own research. Suggest some criteria you could use to monitor teams' performance. Actually try and design and develop some specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and timely case of criteria. Is it profit margins? Is it customer service complaints? Is it awards won cases in that as well? And I wanted to cross the whole BA argument. Finally, based on your research, suggest practical means in developing and encouraging teams to meet against criteria to your set regard customer. Now, in doing this, you must show us what to do. Shows that all case of part case was tackled the case done, and in case of this case was because there's no real need to actually do because of grand chart because just actually tackle it because okay. So there's your assignments, there's your details on it, all your case of main points that because okay. Is pretty open and available to that because so hope that as always, any issues, any problems, any queries or concerns, please don't feel twice. Because that way, drop me an email, patrick.carrick@griffith.ie. That's PATRICK full stop Carrick CARRIG @griffith.ie. Okay, hopefully it's because the success with you. Because look forward to talking to you. Look forward to reading your assignments. Okay, thank you.